Have you ever felt like you're forever indebted to a person? Well, I have, and that just so happens to be my grandmother, my dad's mom. My grandma and grandpa married and had 2 children, my uncle and my dad. The reason I feel so indebted to my grandma is because growing up, my sister and I didn't have a good childhood. Our parents were in and out of drugs and in and out of drinking and in and out of multiple rehabs and psych wards. My grandma always seemed to be the one to be there to pick us up and to take care of us. My dad and my mom were married for almost 16 years, but the relationship tragically ended in divorce. I never wanted that for my family, but it just seemed like that was the only way that things were going to start working out. My mom decided that she was going to move away. So when she moved away, I was unable to speak to my grandma. So I live with that regret daily. And she's no longer alive. My grandma died 9 years ago. I feel like I owe her so much because she was always the one to pick us up and take care of us, make sure we were fed, make sure we were clothed, make sure our hair was clean. There was multiple times where we would end up going to my grandma's house and our hair would be infested with lice because our parents just neglected to take care of us. I remember one instance where I had came home from school and my dad and mom were locked in their bedroom like they always seem to be. And I needed help from my mom. And she just decided that, she couldn't do it. So I got angry and I called my grandma and I told her, please come get me. I don't want to be here anymore. And I ended up living with my grandma for the next 2 years. Grandma got older and was unable to take care of my sister and I. So instead of going back to our parents, because we were still so distraught by the stuff that they had put us through for our childhood, we ended up going to aunts and uncles on different sides. My sister went to an uncle who lived in a small town of Karnes City, Texas, and I went to live with my uncle who lived in Marble Falls. Our relationship with our parents only got more estranged after that happened. I remember I had went to go and visit with my uncle for Christmas. And I decided to call my mom for Christmas because it was around Christmas and wish her a Merry Christmas. Well, she decided. I still remember the phone call. I called her and I said, hey, Mom, how are you? And she said, I'm just fine. I said, Merry Christmas. She said, Merry Christmas, but I'm unable to take care of you. So that's when I had to live with my uncle and aunt. My grandma always took the time to come and visit, make sure I was taken care of, make sure I was well fed, make sure I had clean clothes, and made sure that my hair was kept clean. There were multiple instances when I was living with my parents that I would end up at my grandma's house and our hair would be infested with lice just because the neglect was ridiculous. I'm surprised that we weren't taken away. It's just a lot of hurtful things that happened. But I feel like I owe my grandmother. My grandmother was always there. My grandma was the one that, made sure that we stayed alive, made sure that, we were taken care of. and was there when our parents weren't, my sister and I. Made sure that we went to school, made sure that we got education, made sure we graduated. And although my grandma's been gone for 10 years, that's something that I've always promised would happen. And I fulfilled that promise. I finally fulfilled that promise, and I can't be more proud.